Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, April 13th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some Saturday night baseball, the Chicago Cubs versus the Seattle Mariners, game number 2 in the set. We're going to get first pitch going here in about 7 minutes. So let's cue the music, look at the thumb, and go into the starting lineups. Let's get it. All right, baby, here we go. And we'll first start off with the visiting Chicago Cubs. And on the thumbnail, you already know what it is. Shota Imanaga. He's a phenom. Pretty crazy. 0.00 ERA with a 1-0 record. So if we're going to have any chance tonight, we're going to have to get hits off of him, Imanaga, and we're going to need guys like on the right, like Julio Rodriguez, to step up. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. Let's go, Mariners. Leading off for the Chicago Cubs, left fielder Ian Happ. Batting second, playing right field for the Cubbies, Suzuki. Batting third, playing center field for the Cubs, Cody Bellinger. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, third baseman Christopher Morel. Batting fifth, playing shortstop, Dansby Swanson. Batting sixth for the Cubbies, first baseman Michael Bush. Batting seventh, playing second base for Chicago, Nico Werner. Batting eighth, playing DH for the Cubbies, Mike Tauchman. And batting ninth, catching for Chicago tonight, Miguel Amaya. And on the mound for the Cubbies, the phenom Shota Imanaga. 1-0 record with a 0.00 ERA. I don't think I've seen that out of any pitcher so far, okay? He's got a whip of .40. He's pitched 10 innings. He's given up only 4 hits and has this crazy number, 12 Ks. So this is not going to be easy. He's got no walks. He hasn't given up a homer all year, and hopefully we'll be able to find a way to, see what we can do against Imanaga. Nice to see some Asian persuasion, the Asian sensation debuting there in Chicago. I see you. All right, baby. I see the Asian sensation. Let's go here to the Seattle Mariners. Let's go, baby. Imanaga on the left, Rodriguez on the right. Leading off for the Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Batting second and playing center field, no fly zone, tridents up, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. First homer of the year, tridents up. Let's go. Batting third, playing first base for Seattle, Ty France. Batting fourth and playing cleanup for the Mariners, right fielder Mitch Haniger. Batting fifth, playing second base for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth and playing DH for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Batting seventh, playing left field for the Mariners, Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. Batting eighth, playing third base, Luis Urias. And batting ninth, catching for the Mariners, Sebi Zavala. And on the mound for Seattle, in the 5-hole, Emerson Hancock. Now, don't let this ERA get you all twisted, but it is a little scary. Emerson Hancock, 1-1 record with an ERA of 11.42. I said that, 11.42, and there's a reason why he's in the 5-hole. First-round pick from Georgia a couple years ago. We were supposed to have Brian Wu in the 5-hole, but he got hurt before the season started, just like the previous year. So we're going to have to stick to Hancock until Wu is healthy. Let's get that ERA down from 11, and let's get it down to about 5 or 6, my guy. Let's go. And make sure, everyone, you take care of your mental health, exercise, eat right, spend time with your pets, check up on friends, get outside and do some activities, and make sure you're doing the right things to win the day. Addiction, depression, anxiety is a motherfucker. So make sure you are doing the right things each day to win the day. Let's go, baby. I am ready. Let's get everything queued up here. Get the volume set up here. All right, baby. I'm ready. Let's go. Matt in the building. What's good? Let's get to 100 and donos. Let's do it. Megan is in the building. Home from Ollie time. Good to hear. Let's go. Let them know. And anyone that's got a Twitter/X account, if you could do me a solid and like and retweet the live stream, it would definitely help us get more people in the room as well as more people watching on Twitter/X. I appreciate that very, very much. Let's go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Mitches! You're the boo-boo of Woo. And hopefully Hancock can get that ERA down from 11.42 to, a comfortable number. Maybe not 3 and under. We would expect that from Castillo and Kirby and Gilbert and Miller. Be in the 3s or lower. That's ideally what you want. But if it ends up being like 3.32, you can live with that. But once you start getting into the 4s and the 5s, in ERA, it starts to get a little worrisome. And then when you see something in double digits, then you have a real big concern. So I don't know if we're going to be able to win this game after winning last night, but it is really going to come down to Hancock if he can end up pitching, for 5 or 6 innings, decently clean, giving up 3 runs or less. And then we have to put up the magic number. And what is the magic number for the Mariners since 2022? 7 to 10 hits and 5 runs. And if we end up doing that, we can win 90 to 95% of our games if we hit those 2 tallies. 5 runs or more, 7 to 10 hits. We don't hit that number or either one, then the chances of us losing increase dramatically. Let's go. Yeah, I did get a chance to watch a little bit of that spring game just to see, what Chip Kelly would call. And obviously some of the play calls that they're going to show in spring aren't necessarily going to be play calls that we may see when we match up against them in the regular season or maybe beyond, in the next, few years and whatnot in the Big Ten. But it's a cool look. Like I said, I've always been a Chip Kelly guy. It didn't really work out for him, in the NFL, but I always appreciated everything that he did on the college level. UCLA was a little bit too small for him, I feel. But if he can ever, get an opportunity to recruit at a high level again, barring any illegal activity, that I think that, he could be a name again. And again, I think he's going to end up proving to a lot of people that he can still call plays. And honestly, out of all the places in the country that Chip Kelly could have gone to, Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Michigan, he ended up landing in one of the best spots as an offensive coordinator. And not only that, if for whatever reason Ryan Day doesn't live up to the expectations of the Ohio State board and everyone that's in charge, they could potentially let him go or buy out his contract, and boom shakalaka, you got Chip Kelly, head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now that would be a sight to see. They probably would recruit better and get better players if Chip was the head coach, but you just got to give it some time. And at this point, they're not looking at replacing Ryan Day, but it makes you kind of, wonder, anytime you get someone that's very skilled at the OC, normally they end up being head coach. Just the same thing happened with Mike Bellotti being the head coach. Who did he hire? Chip Kelly as his OC, and then eventually took over. All right, baby, here we go. Yeah, we're probably going to need 7 to 10 runs, and Imanaga is crazy, right? 0.00 ERA, lots of Ks, 12 Ks, hasn't given up any walks or runs. Like, this is going to be tough. You know, they talk about Asian persuasion and Asian sensations. We got a few of them there on the Dodgers and spread out across the league. This is my first opportunity to see Imanaga, and I'm super excited. Popped up. Hap. There we go. One away. I'll take that. Anytime that we can get somebody out early and often, I'm about that life. Sit down in. Next up, another Asian sensation, right fielder, Seiya Suzuki. And it won't surprise me if Suzuki ends up leading the team in a number of statistical categories. Yes, they got Cody Bellinger, who might be the best player, on the team, on the Cubs. But I'm telling you, Suzuki will be in the running for being the second or third best player on the team. And if at any point Bellinger struggles or gets hurt, Suzuki will be the front runner as far as being the guy on Chicago. So it's pretty crazy to think, when you bring in these guys coming over, overseas and from Japan and whatnot, and seeing the success that a lot of these guys have had. Suzuki, 20 home runs, 74 ribbies last season. Pretty fucking respectable, if you ask me, for a guy playing right field from Japan. Bottom of the first, top of the first, 0-0. Come on, Hancock. We got to make sure we have good control out there. And we got to make sure we limit Hap, Suzuki, Bellinger, and Morel if we want to have any chance here this afternoon/evening. Pitch is outside. Pitch is outside, but swung at and got him. There we go. Yes, sir. Hancock with a K. I like that. Especially for a guy that's got an ERA of almost 12. Anything positive, we're going to take that. Mariner Moose comes out early. First K out of the night for Emerson Hancock. Let's go. Bulldogs represent. I see you. Next up for the Cubbies, Cody Bellinger. 180 average, 2 homers, 10 ribbies. Pitch is low in the zone, but called a strike, 1-1 count. Yeah, every out is a bonus for sure. And I was reading a lot of comments, from Mariner fans, talking about like the broadcast that was on Apple TV Plus last night and wondering why it's so much better. Like the clarity is because they record in 4K and Root Sports doesn't. So that's why the broadcast always looks so much better on Apple TV or Apple TV Plus on Friday nights, is because of the type of camera work and the graphics and everything that they use on that platform. If it ever got to a point where they moved away from Root Sports and ended up going to Apple or their own app, I wouldn't be against it. I mean, obviously the announcers could be a little bit better, but a lot of times people will end up watching YouTube like me to be able to have an alternate broadcast. And I know some people try to link up the radio broadcast from the Mariners to the content that's on Apple TV Plus because it gives you that option. But a lot of times when they end up doing that, it doesn't sync up. It's a little off. So, but the one thing that is clear, the picture is phenomenal on Apple TV Plus. If you've ever watched a game on there and then you end up watching it on your regular HD 4K TV or, on the computer or on the iMac or iPad or your phone, you'll definitely notice a pretty big difference. All right, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the first. 3 up and 3 down. I like that. Emerson Hancock. Nice start. It's always nice when we can get out of the top of the first and we're not down by 4 runs. And hopefully we can get off to a fast start like we did yesterday, even though it did take a couple innings to get there. But once we had that 4-0 lead, it kind of felt like we were going to end up winning 4-1, 4-2, and that's what we did. Leading off for the Mariners, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. I had to sink in a few new photos for y'all as well. Batting second, center fielder, no fly zone, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. And batting third, first baseman, Ty France. Tridents up. Let's go. We need some electricity in the lineup with the bats, baby. Let's go, JP. Megan helping out with the like and the share on the stream. I appreciate that very much, as well as Matt. Appreciate you. Imanaga's a lefty, so this could get ugly. I don't expect us to go crazy tonight. Like I said, I hope that we can end up getting the, 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, or maybe like Reflex said, we might need 7 to 10 runs. But I'm not sure if we're going to get it off Imanaga. I would highly doubt we're going to get anything off of him. We're going to have to wait for him to get pulled, hopefully by the 6th inning. And then at that point, we're going to have 3 innings to hopefully come back if we're down at that point. But if I had to predict, I would assume that we're going to only put up 2 runs or less on Imanaga. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we rough him up early and often. But just everything that I've seen, footage-wise, the stuff that I've read on him, and also on top of that, being a lefty, it's going to be a little different for the Mariners in the lineup. And I think the Mariners typically do better against right-handed pitching. When they go against left-handed pitching, they struggle a little bit. So, and we don't really have as many left-handed starters as well, just like a left-handed quarterback compared to a right-handed quarterback. You're more used to prepping for a righty, and then all of a sudden here comes Tua or Michael Penix Jr., and don't be surprised if those guys end up having big games. Not the fact that they're just simply a lefty, but not only are they a lefty, but they're damn good players as well. Bottom of the first, 0-0. Julio behind in the count, 0-2. Come on, J-Rod. Let's go, baby. Takes a ball, 1-2 count. Let's go. One-two pitch for Imanaga. Pitch is high, 2-2 count. I would love for a player like this to be on the Mariners, at some point or another. Not just the fact that he's Asian persuasion, but just his delivery, his confidence out there. And anytime you can get a lefty doing business on the mound, there's going to be a lot of pop-ups and a lot of ground outs. Unfortunately, and there we go. There's another one. Grounded out to second, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman, Ty France. Let's go, Ty. And we got UFC 300 on tonight as well. Very exciting. Pitch is outside in the zone. 1-0 count. Daniel in the building. What's good? Pitch fouled back. 1-1 count. Come on, Ty. 333 average, 0 homers, 3 ribbies. It would be amazing to be able to see Ty and Julio, get out of this home run slump. But I'm not sure if we're going to get it out of Imanaga. Pitch is inside. He's really crafty too. Like I said, he'll know when to pitch inside, when to pitch at the knees, to pitch away. He'll definitely get batters to get baited. Hopefully not too often though tonight. I might have to switch here. That one is... Hold on one sec here. Trying to find the proper link for me to be able to use, because the one that I was using I'm not really satisfied with. There's a little bit too much buffering. Three-two count to France. Wow. Like that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, Cubbies. End of the first inning. Let's go to the top of the second. Not the ideal start, obviously, for our hitters there. But again, with Imanaga 1-0, 0.00 ERA, 12 Ks. Obviously, going into the game, it's going to be a very difficult matchup. We have to hopefully rough him up at some point in the third or the fourth or the fifth, and then just pray that he doesn't go past 6 innings, so that way we can actually get some fucking hits and runs today. All right, next up for the Cubbies, third baseman, Christopher Morel. Batting second, shortstop, Dansby Swanson. And batting third, first baseman, Michael Busch. Let's go, baby. Stand up in the building. What's good? Yeah, I went back last night after the game ended and, ended up trying to do some reading and doing some film study late last night and today. And then after being able to see what was available, 1-0, 0.00 ERA, 12 Ks. He's got nasty stuff inside and outside. He gets to bait batters, left and right. Lots of pop-ups and ground outs. You're not going to hit a lot of home runs off this guy. And this is early, and things could change as the season goes on if people can figure him out. But based on everything that I read and everything that I saw film study-wise last night and today, he looks like he's going to be very, very good for Chicago, not only this year, but many years to come. They got two Asian persuasions with Suzuki and Imanaga on the squad. Seems like you're getting more and more Japanese players sprinkled out the major leagues. Little grounder, the third. There we go. To France, one away. Next up for the Cubbies, shortstop, Dansby Swanson. I knew that Imanaga was going to be a pretty good player, coming to Chicago, but I didn't think that he would be this electric this soon. And it's something definitely to keep an eye on as we go into the 2024 regular season. 244 average, 2 home runs, and 7 ribbies for Dansby Swanson. Well, it's kind of hard to hate on somebody when they got a fucking 1-0 record with a 0.00 ERA, 12 Ks, and no walks. That's as clean of a stat line that I've ever seen for a guy coming in. It doesn't matter who you play, at that point, if you got stats that look like that, and it's early, and obviously we got a long ways to go, but you can't deny a little bit of greatness there. Swanson with a nice base knock. All right, Swanson, I see you. Top of the second, we're knotted up at 0. Next up, first baseman, Michael Busch. But again, Emerson Hancock, not a good pitcher, almost the complete opposite from Shota Imanaga, right? 1-1 record for Hancock with an 11.42 ERA. So it's like going from the best possible scenario with Imanaga to probably the worst for us. So we're going to definitely need to find a way to get runs and hits on Imanaga, or we're going to have to wait until he gets pulled, hopefully in the 6th inning, and then we'll have 3 innings to catch up at that point if we're down. Top of the second, 0-0, runner at first, 1 away. Hancock pitches outside. 1-1 count. Frank in the building, what's good? Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. And, good luck to all the Cubs fans that are out there. I don't have any type of bad feelings or any type of hate, towards the organization. Like I said, my late grandma was a big, big Cubs fan. Lots of kids here in the neighborhood in Oregon and Washington were Cubs fans, being on WGN all those years. I love their colors. They are a part of American history, and they got real great, rich history. I loved watching Sandberg and Grace, back in the day, Andre Dawson. And then even I remember guys, the lower name guys, the Damon Berryhills and the Sean Dunstons, guys that I should have no recollection of remembering, but, collecting all those baseball cards when I was a kid, you definitely remember a lot of those names from back in the day. Even if they're obscure or kind of jobber names, you still remember them. Big facts. We're in the top of the second, 0-0, runner at first. Swanson, 2-2 pitch from Hancock, pitches outside, 3-2 count. From Dayton. How's the weather out there in Dayton, Frank? It's been overcast all day today here. I got 2 walks in with my pup before the rain is definitely approaching. Throw to first and safe. Top of the second, 0-0. Hancock on the mound, and Michael Bush in the box. Sandberg, yes. We got a lot of rich history from players that are from Oregon and Washington that a lot of people forgot. Come on, Hancock. First round draft pick out of Georgia a couple years ago. We need Wu back bad, but hopefully, Hancock can have another, good start. He had one bad one really good one, got his first win, but with an ERA of almost 12, that's alarming. Bush with a nice contact hit to right field. Swanson goes to third base. Runners at first and third with one away. Jacob in the building. What's good? Cubs already approaching to get their first run here. Next up for the Cubbies, second baseman Nico Werner. I see you, Nico. Last night with runners in scoring position, Cubs 0 for 3, Mariners 2 for 8. And if we didn't have those runners in scoring position and getting those base knocks in, then we wouldn't have won. But I still thought, even though we were up 4-0, like I said in the stream yesterday, I still thought the Cubs would get to 2, and they did. So you never can count out a team like that, especially with the talent that they have in the lineup, even though they're young. Nico, 277 average, 22 homers, 169 ribbies, 408 hits for Werner. We're going to Guardians Yanks. Awesome. Big Red Machine. Oh, yeah. Johnny Bench and company. Ken Griffey. Not junior, but senior. Chris Sabo later on. Rob Dibble. I got a lot of memories there. Top of the second. Runners on the corners. We're knotted up at 0. Hancock already 26 pitches in. ERA of almost 12. 1-2 pitch. Center field dive, Julio. There we go. Julio throws home. The tag up throw. Terrible throw by Julio. 1-0 Cubbies. Nice start for Chicago. Damn it. That's what Chicago was wanting, especially, getting down 4-0 yesterday. Beating up on our Booty-O's pitcher. Next up for the Cubbies, DHing for Chicago, Mike Tauchman. And essentially the lineup is identical except a different catcher for Chicago tonight. Yeah, we're going to need a lot because at this point, I was hoping 3 runs or less, but realistically, depending on how long Hancock goes before they pull him, he might end up giving up, 4, 5, 6, 7. It just depends on who we have ready in the bullpen, if anybody, to go in there. Yeah, bench, Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, Tony Perez. Come on, baby. All right, we're going to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Chicago. The stream is ass. I can't, like I said, I got like a gig service, and you already know when the servers are all fucked up and shit is lagging. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go to the backup. The only problem is with the backup, it's slightly behind the other one, but as long as it's clear and it's going to be, not buffering or having any issues, then that's where we're at, I guess. All right, let me see how we ended up getting to the bottom of the second while I was fucking around with that other stream. Top of the second, 1-0 Chicago, runner at first, 2 outs, 1-0 pitch to Tauchman. Pitches outside, 2-0 count. try this one out for a little bit and see how it works. And then if we have any issues, then I'll go back to the other one. I just like using my primary one the best because that's going to be as close to live TV as we're going to get. But again, if it ends up, buffering every 15 seconds, that gets irritating, especially when I'm trying to call the game. 2-0 pitch, popped up. Urias. There we go. Leave one stranded. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Let me check out this other screen because I would rather do the other one if possible. I just don't like being too far behind. But it's something that you got to be able to kind of battle with. Good picture, right? Good picture, right? Or you're going to end up having some issues. Let's see what we got here. And it looks like they're working on it right now. All right, let me close out this other one. All right, Miach, let's go, baby. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Cubbies. I went back to my original. I tried to stick it out as long as I could, but I can only go so long before a stream fucks up too many times where I have to look for an alternative option. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Cubbies. Let's go, Haniga. We need you, baby. Let's go, Miach. 1-1 pitch. Haniger fouls it back. 1-2 count. Pitch into the dirt. 2-2 count. Come on, Mariners. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Like, sub, donate, comment, share for your boy. Haniger to Swanson. Oh, he dropped it. Yes. Michael Bush. Was that an error or just a low throw? I'll take that. And sometimes when you end up getting, a throw to first where maybe the power isn't there or it's overthrown or underthrown, and then the runner still runs it out as fast as they can and they get to first, right? Even though he led up there within the last maybe 3 steps. Haniger thought he was out by a mile, right? But I'll take that. Bush, you got to secure the bag, my guy. Haniger is safe. I love that. Runner at first with no outs. Time for us to get a run early. Let's go. We're in good position here. Next up, Jorge Polanco. Big swing and a miss. And I'm not going to like having a lot of our switch hitters batting right because usually that's going to be the weaker of the two. Most of our guys that are switch hitters are much better as a left-handed hitter. I don't like this bullshit where it's like left-handed pitcher, we have to hit right-handed. If you're a good left-handed hitter, it shouldn't matter. If you're much better, 40, 50, 60 points higher, bat left against a left-handed pitcher. You have no confidence in the skill set, or you just have to go to the right-hand side because the analytics and metrics tell you so, and then you just end up striking out, grounding out, or popping up anyways. You might as well go with the left. But with Polanco, he's a little bit better as a right-handed hitter in past history. Let's see if it ends up staying true. He might be one of the only guys on the team that will bat a little bit better righty than lefty. And so far this year as a lefty, he's been terrible. So maybe he needs to start batting right-handed. But as far as like Cal Raleigh and everyone else, stick to left. Even though Cal did get his first homer as a righty, so. Polanco, there we go. Well, maybe batting right-handed is something good. There we go. And it all started with that Haniger, obviously running it out to first and that little bobble by Bush, and now we can start to wear out Imanaga just a little bit. We just got to pray we don't have any double plays here. There we go. There we go. Haniger to first. Now Polanco to first, Haniger to second. Next up, Mitch Garver. Let's go, Miach. Come on, baby. Pitch right down the middle. Yeah, and I didn't have it on yesterday because I had the broadcast on Apple TV, so I just had the TV in the background and whatnot. But typically when I end up calling the games, we'll have the background music either on for the commercials or I'll have it on throughout the whole game. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Cubbies. Pitch right down the middle, fouled back for Garv. Behind in the count, 0-2. And depending on the programs that you use, and if it's on the TV or if you're actually watching it on the computer itself, a lot of times you're not going to be able to hear the audio of the announcers per se. I can hear everything, but on your guys' end, you guys will only be able to hear the announcers like if I have it on the TV in the background. So having the music in the background is just kind of nice. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Cubbies. Runners at first and second, one away. Next up, Demo Dylan Moore. Go, Demo. Pitch low in the zone. 1-0 count. Versus four-seam fastballs since the start of 2023. He's got a 298 average, 681 slugging, and a 50% hard hit rate. Come on, Demo. So I took my pup for a walk, early this morning before a lot of people were up. And in the neighborhoods that I live in, a lot of people give stuff away for free. Like if they got extra stuff or they're moving, they'll just put it out, like on their driveway free. And a lot of times you're like, well, it might be like some plants or just like some junky like drawers or whatever. But for whatever reason, in my hood, right, they got some good stuff. Like I ended up getting a really nice camping chair that they were just going to donate, to like Goodwill for free. So I ended up getting one of those a couple days ago, and now I had to carry it back with me, on the shoulder while I was walking Paisley for about half of my walk. But it was worth it. It was like a essentially almost brand new chair, that they were just going to pretty much toss or give to Goodwill. Then I go down another neighborhood today and I find one of the best finds that I've seen in the hood in my neighborhood in years. They had a lazy boy, right, on the curb in front of the driveway of this family that I think is getting a brand new one delivered today. And it had a little bit of wear on one of the arms, but it had even one of the clickers with it. It wasn't broken. But then, I was walking Paisley, so there's no way I can carry, this really heavy 75-pound whatever chair with me. It would have been pretty comical to see me, try to bring home this lazy boy on my back while I'm carrying Paisley. But I was thinking to myself, damn, if I was a little bit closer to the crib, I definitely would have scooped that up, and that could have been Paisley's chair. I already got a lazy boy for myself that I've had for like 20 years. It's like in perfect condition. I barely even sit in it. But I was thinking, damn, this would be a great chair for Paisley. But didn't have the strength or the vehicle at the time to get it. Someone definitely picked it up already. Oh, baby. Popped up. Back to the warning track. Oh. Tagged up. Wow, that was a good hit by Demo. Unfortunately, he ended up going all the way back to the warning track, but a good sign that we might end up getting a Demo homer later in the game. Next up for the Mariners, he can play defense too. Third baseman, Luis Urias. Let's go, Luis. Garage sale in the upscale. You know what's really funny too? There was a guy that had a garage sale like 3 houses down, and I almost told him, go down like, the neighborhood, go down 3 houses and just grab the chair. It's free, right? Just like grab it, and then you could just put like a $25, $50, $75, $100 price tag, and boom shakalaka, you're probably going to sell that item, and someone would buy it. I mean, I don't know how much I would necessarily pay myself for something like that, but if I had an extra, $20 to $50, I probably would consider it. But free, I mean, you can't beat a price like that. I was thinking to myself, I should tell this guy, he's got a garage sale. Not a lot of people are coming. If you were just aware of your surroundings, you just go down there, you scoop it up, you put it in front of your house, boom, $50, and then you just made $50 by doing nothing. I'm always looking to, find ways to help people out, but it was a no-go. I was thinking, man, I need that for myself. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Cubbies, runners at first and third. There we go. Let's go. Here is, baby. Luis. My guy, we're knotted up at 1 with runners at second and third. And it all happened with Mitch Haniger trying to go to first base. And they bobbled that throw. Thank you so much, Michael Bush. Because now we're tied. And we wouldn't have been tied or even got to this point. Nice job. Nice job, Luis. Next up for the Mariners, catcher Sebi Zavala. And as he gets more looks in the majors, then we'll have some more Mariner photos in the future. Let's go, Sebi. Huerner hit to sacrifice fly to center, and Swanson scored in the bottom of the second. That's how they scored. Stand up. Huerner hit sacrifice fly to center. Swanson scored 1-0 Cubs. Urias double to left. Haniger scored. Polanco to third. 1-1. Mariners are tied up. Let's go. Pitch is high. 1-1 count. But I haven't wanted an item that, I usually can come across things, and most of the time, I'll just walk past it, when I'm walking with Paisley and whatnot. There was another guy that had a box full of like phone chargers and all kinds of like computer desk stuff. And I was like about halfway through my walk, and I don't really need any of that stuff. But I knew, as soon as someone walks past that and looks in there, that whole box is gone. And that's exactly what ended up happening, because a lot of ththese people, they'll try to just give it away, first before going to Goodwill or, doing a garage sale. But I definitely was shocked, to see, a lazy boy, even though it looked like kind of a miniature lazy boy for free. I mean, they could have put at least like a $10 or $20 on it. But I guess if you're just trying to get it out of the house and you don't want to move it, free is the best way to go about it. So end of the second inning, but we're tied up at 1. Nice job by Luis. And when I saw the lineup card, I was like, come on, where's Rojas, right? Why isn't he playing these last couple games? We need him, but we're giving him a little bit of a break. But I believe that, let me take a quick look to see if he's injured or not. I don't think he is. Let me take the injury report. Brash, 15, Wu, 15, Snyder, 15, Bolton, 15, Haggerty, 10. So he's not injured. But thank God Luis came to play today. My guy. Make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. It's very, very important. Depression, anxiety, addiction, they're all motherfuckers. You got to make sure you're doing the right things every day to win the day. Next up for the Cubbies in the top of the third. Leading off for Chicago, catching for them tonight, Miguel Amaya. Batting second, left field, 0 for 1, Ian Happ. And batting third, right fielder, 0 for 1 with a K, Seiya Suzuki. I have not got a chance to watch it tonight, but I probably will try to watch it maybe after the stream is over. Got a little, I was doing some research and film study and whatnot, trying to go over, the players and the upcoming opponents, with Imanaga and whatnot. But I got caught up with Grey's Anatomy and 911 and, all the other shows that I watch on a regular basis. So, Swamp People and Wicked Tuna and all those and all my other sitcoms and whatnot. So I do, and I finished Deadwood finally. So I am looking to start. I have been watching Sons of Anarchy. Started it from season 1, episode 1, and I'm like 11 episodes in, trying to watch it from beginning to end. So I'll probably go back and forth, but I'll probably start All Out tonight, and then I'll give you my my analysis and breakdown. I haven't played the video game, so I'm not going to really understand everything. But as far as just watching it, I think I'm going to enjoy it. Popped up, 1 away. Next up, left fielder Ian Happ. Let's go. Yeah, if there is people in the room that haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. And we got 23 people in the room, so only half of y'all have smashed the like button, and then we got another 27 watching on Twitter/X, but they don't have the ability to like the stream from there. They would have to come to the YouTube side. So we got 50 people obviously supporting us right now, but again, there's 10 of y'all that are in the room that haven't smashed the like button just yet, so please do. You know, if you can't donate, fine. You know, if you don't want to share it on your socials, that's fine as well. You know, but if you can just do me a solid, even if you don't want to talk in the stream, that's fine. But if you can do your boy a solid and smash the like button, the more streams that we can get that have 20 to 30 likes, people think that it doesn't matter, but it really does. It takes 1 second, one push with the finger or the thumb, and then that can help us get more people, and then we can hit the algorithm, and then sometimes we'll end up getting recommended to a whole new wave of people that are looking for baseball games to watch. So please do if you can. Back. Suzuki gone. I told y'all Suzuki is the best player on the team, not named Cody Bellinger, and he shows it again. Right fielder, Seiya Suzuki, back, gone. 2-1 Chicago. Asian persuasion in the building. All the lurkers, help your boy out. I mean, there's a lot of people that will definitely like to spy on me, you know, and see what I'm up to. You know, not only, you know, through like Facebook and just like people that are your Facebook friends, you know. Not even really friends. It's more of just like acquaintances, really. Underhand throw. Got him. But the damage is done. Nice home run by Seiya Suzuki. I was actually hoping that we would see him, you know, do something special. I still want the Mariners to win, but I still want to see like the best players, you know, compete. I want to see Suzuki play ball. I want Bellinger to go for a belly bomb as long as it doesn't beat us, you know, like I want them to keep the game interesting. I don't necessarily need a, you know, 6-0 type of win. We can end up having a 6-5 game and both sides can have fun and enjoy the matchup. But so far, so good besides the Suzuki rip. Next up for the Mariners in the bottom of the third. Let's see who we got up. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. We need you, baby. Batting second, 0 for 1, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Try dance up. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, first baseman, Ty France. Let's go. You never know who's watching, honestly. You know, like I said, you know, there's a lot of professional athletes that watch, you know, YouTube and they're on Twitter/X. You know, there's a lot of, you know, NFL players, MLB players, NBA players, you know, hockey players, and also people that are on shows, you know, that end up wanting to see what, you know, the YouTubers and the streamers are up to. You know, I know Pat McAfee, you know, that show watches. You know, I know that, you know, Good Morning Football and Traeger, I know he watches. You know, there's going to be people, you know, it's like, you wouldn't think that some people would be watching until they steal your content and you catch them doing it. So, you know, it's flattering, you know, but again, a lot of these people that are on TV, they're not the most original. So if they can end up, you know, stealing someone's catchphrase or, you know, coming up with something creative, you know, nickname wise or whatever it may be, they're definitely going to be stealing content left and right. Just like singers and rappers, you know, that end up coming up with their new album or their new song. Chances are they probably found someone that had something that was good that just wasn't famous or well known, and it happens all the time. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Cubbies. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Chicago. Ground out in the first inning for Julio Rodriguez. Yeah, it's cool, man. And like I said, a lot of them are going to be Japanese, but you're going to get them from other countries as well. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. You get some Korean, right? And then obviously at some point you're going to probably see some, Chinese or Chinese Taipei or Vietnamese or, maybe from Laos, but a majority, is going to be Japanese and Korean. At least that's what we've seen so far, up to this point. I remember when Hideo Nomo came through, on the Dodgers as a pitcher, and we thought it was like the coolest thing ever, to be able to see someone that, that maybe looked like, someone else, like you could kind of connect, and there wasn't really a whole lot of Asian representation in the major leagues, even, 20, 30 years ago. And then now it feels like almost every team, not every team, but almost every team has got at least one, on the team, either a pitcher or some type of hitter. They may not be starting, it might be a backup, and then other teams got multiple, where they might have pitchers and hitters. So the game is definitely growing. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Chicago. 2 outs, 2-0 count for Imanaga. I'm very impressed so far. And with the lefty, he knows when to pitch inside. If you're going to pitch over the plate, and outside, they're going to end up getting big homers off of you. But he's got such good control that he can go inside, but not so close where he's going to hit the batter or he can jam the batter over and over and over again. And that's why we're going to get a lot of pop-ups and ground outs. And again, the players have to be patient in the box. We're not known for being patient, but Imanaga is the truth. I feel I'm a good evaluator in sports. I feel like evaluating talent in sports is one of my favorite things to do. Little dribbler, Swanson to first, Bush, 3 up and 3 down. But I feel like I read more than the average person. There's a lot of people in this room besides me that do a lot of reading as well. And I watch a lot of film. And I know there's people in the room that like to watch a lot of film also. So I feel that really separates us from a lot of the other channels that are out there. Is that just because, there's other channels that might be more popular, but I don't think there's channels out there that person for person that read more than us or watch more film than us. And the more that you read, about your favorite team and favorite players, as well as the opponents, not only does it make you smarter, right, but then you can come up to better conclusions and predictions because you've seen it, you've read it, you've soaked it in, and then you're able to, kind of maybe realize patterns that happen in sports. And if you can recognize the patterns, which I'm pretty good at, since I've been watching for such a long time, then the predictions start flowing and then the ESP starts flowing. So end of the third inning, 2-1 Chicago. Let's see who they got up for the Cubbies. I mean, that's all I do all day. It's like I spend time with Paisley. I'll still end up watching my shows, but I would say on an average day, I'm probably reading and watching film combined, probably somewhere in that 4 to 6 hour range every day, because I'm always making sure I'm following up on everything Mariners, the opponent that we're playing, and then depending on what season it is, NFL, college football, what's going on there. And then even things for just entertainment purposes, like for wrestling, what's going on in WWE and AEW, even though that's not as maybe important as like NHL or MLB or NFL or NASCAR or the NBA, but I still like to keep up on it. I ended up watching the Xfinity race earlier today and ended up being neck and neck right there at the end. The finishes in NASCAR have been amazing this season. I haven't seen so many like .001 finish, .002. Like when they come on the finish line, I can't even tell who's going to win. And I've seen like 2 or 3 of those already between the trucks, Xfinity, and the NASCAR Cup. It's definitely exciting. And then we got a NASCAR Cup Series race tomorrow as well. Let's go. Top of the fourth for the Cubbies, leading off, Christopher Morel. 269 average, 3 homers, and 10 ribbies for Morel. Little dribbler, underhand to Hancock, 1 away. Leadoff man is retired. Next up for Chicago, shortstop Dansby Swanson. Turn ahead the clock Jersey night. Awesome versus the Diamondbacks. Well, I've been streaming for 12, but the YouTube channel has been up for 8. And I just streamed like on Facebook and other platforms for the first few years just to try to, perfect the craft and grind it out, make sure that you feel comfortable with things. But, I've been recording since 2013 and we're in 2024 now. So this is my 12th year of recording, but 8th year on YouTube, and we put out over 2,100 live streams and videos since just 2017, and we're approaching 4 million views. We're getting closer and closer. Hopefully we can hit that number, before 2025. Top of the fourth, 2-1 Cubbies, 1-2 pitch from Hancock. Got him! Emerson Hancock with his third K. Okay. Nice job, my guy. Mariner Moose comes out for that one. Anytime we get a K, Mariner Moose got to come out and celebrate. Let's go. Nice job, Emerson. Third K for him. Next up, Michael Bush. One for one with a single in the second inning. Top of the fourth, 2-1 Chicago. How many channels have you watched that call baseball, and what would you rank this channel compared to all the other ones that you've seen in the past? Like, do you normally just watch Cubs live stream channels because that's what your team is? Or, is this the first time that you've actually seen a channel that's not the primary team, Chicago Cubs? Top of the fourth, 1-2 pitch, popped up for Michael Bush, right to Julio in the no-fly zone. There we go. 3 up and 3 down. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-1 Chicago. All right, next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a run, right fielder, Mitch Haniga. Let's go, Miach. Batting second, 1 for 1, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Keep batting right-handed for the rest of your career. Don't even bat left anymore. And batting third, DHing for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K, Mitch Garver. Let's go, Miach. We need you. I even got an alternate photo of you sliding. I don't know how often you're even going to be on the bags, all right? But if I got to put up 2 photos for the 2 Mitches, well, here we go. Let's go, baby. I appreciate that. And, sometimes it's all about timing, right? If we didn't play the Cubs, till later on in the season, you may or may not have, maybe looked it up or found us and whatnot. So, and I imagine we're going to end up finding players or fans of other teams that are playing the Mariners, and they're going to look it up on YouTube. And then hopefully we can continue to gain not only Mariner fans, but gain fans of opposing teams that just like the vibe of this channel. And even if I'm not doing a Cubs game, they can come through, make friends, and vibe with the mods and the goats as well as myself. But I feel that you're a perfect fit for this channel, which we don't say that often to just newbies. And we're happy that you're here. But we've started to, come across a few Cincinnati Red fans. We're going to be playing them next. Cubs fans. And as soon as we keep continuing going down that path with the other teams, hopefully we can start gaining at least one new fan from every series that we have on the channel, or possibly more. Haniger, yeah, baby. Yeah, I put a lot of energy and effort. Like the thumbnail itself usually takes me, I would say 30 minutes to an hour for every single one, depending on what I have to do. And I'm really picky on the images, and also trying to be able to create the images, through like a Photoshop supercut program. People think like making thumbnails is so fucking easy. It really isn't. Like, just because you get an image and you drag that image over to like a Photoshop or a supercut, sometimes it doesn't format properly and it's distorted. where you like maybe half of the body is good, and then once it gets down to like the pants, it gets all distorted. So then you either have to do like a bigger image and you have to blow it up to hide the fact that it's fucked up on the bottom, or you can end up getting an image that's perfect from top to bottom. So there's a lot that goes in on the thumbs, but I feel it's like you have to find your style. But once you find it, then everything starts coming kind of second nature at that point. But I had to put your guy on there. I was thinking about putting Suzuki, but I'll probably put Suzuki tomorrow. But since Imanaga has been so amazing, I figured Imanaga and Julio would be a great combo. And then maybe Seiya Suzuki tomorrow. And I'll do a different background for the Mariners too. I'm always an attention to detail. Maybe that's just the Asian side of me with my mom and whatnot, but I'm always going to make sure I'm looking to attention to detail. So we'll end up having, this is like the background that we use when we play at night. And then when we end up playing during the day, which we'll be having a rubber match tomorrow, then this will be the look that we use tomorrow. Or it'll be a more afternoon setting. So every little thing is always looked at. I never get lazy. And, like I said, even if that means I have to make a whole nother thumbnail, with the different background instead of just using 3 with this particular one. But I feel that people notice the hard work that I put in and the subtle little details. And that'll keep them coming back to the channel, obviously seeing how much hard work that I do. The thing that annoys me the most is when people, there we go, Garver with a hit, that people, when they use the same thumbnail over and over and over for like a 3-game or 4-game set, like, stop being lazy. You're like you made one thumbnail, you know what I mean? And then the same exact thumbnail for the second game and the third game, that's not going to attract people to the channel. That shows laziness, so at least it does for me. You have to take the time and show that you care. So nice hit there by Garv. Let's go, baby. Next up, Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. We're about an hour in. We got 50 people in the room. We got to get someone going here, started with the Dono train. And hopefully we can get one person, and then that'll lead to another. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. The goal is to get to 20 on every stream. And let me see, half of the people are watching on Twitter/X, the other half are in here now. We need 6 more people that are in the room right now if they haven't smashed the like button. 5 more people to get to 20. And then if you can do that for me, that would be fantastic. And then hopefully one day that the Twitter X side will be able to like the stream from there. They'll be able to donate from there, and they'll be able to share everything from there as well. So hopefully all the things will be linked one day. Bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Chicago. Runners at first and second. 1-1 pitch, fouled back, 1-2 count. 1 away, Demo in the box. Imanaga, 93 pitches. Let me see what you got here. What you got, Imanaga? I was going to say 93 was going to be the goal for him before they pulled him. He's on 58. I was going to say there's no way he's at 93. And shout out to True North Trident. Appreciate you on Twitter/X, liking a lot of the streams and retweeting them and supporting your boy. I appreciate that very much. True North Trident, Megan and Matt. Appreciate the 3 of you helping me out on that end. Pitches outside, 3-2 count. Count is full. And hopefully the goats can come through too, because tomorrow the game is going to be early at like noon. And usually when you have an early game, it's a little bit harder to get likes and subs and donos and views when you got a game on at like noon or 1, depending on if it's a weekend or not. It's like some people will be available and they're going to be diehard and they're going to ride or die for me no matter what time I stream. But, for others, they got school, they got work, they got other plans, they got church, they got other obligations. So hopefully we can end up hitting a good number here tonight. But we need someone to get it started. Pop back and foul, 3-2 count. Oh, yeah, I definitely think the pitch clock has been a reason that the injuries have been happening with the pitchers. Some of it, is just their bodies are brittle, but getting used to, that type of, system when they didn't have it. But I feel that you're going to have Tommy Johns no matter what, but you're not going to get rid of the pitch clock. It has made the games go by faster, so that way we're not sitting here for 4 hours in a baseball game. 2 hours and 30 minutes is like perfect. And then if it ends up going to like extras, 2 hours and 45 minutes, Dylan Moore flight out to left, 2 away. But a lot of the games before the pitch clock were like 3 hours, 4 hours, and for when you're at the game, that's one thing. But when you're watching it on TV or you're doing a stream, it can kind of wear on you when you're doing back-to-back 5-hour streams, I don't want the players to get hurt, based off this pitch clock. But I definitely think that, them kind of rushing the delivery and not being used to the pitch clock yet has resulted in some of the injuries. Bottom of the fourth, 2-1 Chicago, runners at first and second, 2 away. Louise, 182 average, 1 homer and 5 ribbies. Let's go, baby. Let him know. Your boy's got lots of bills to pay. Can't pay bills with air. One pitch from Imanaga. One pitch. Popped up. Right to center field. Left 2 stranded. That was rough. End of the 4th inning. 2-1 Chicago. See who's due up for Chicago. Next up for the Cubbies, 0 for 0 with an RBI. Second baseman, Nico Werner. Batting second this inning, 0 for 1. DHing for Chicago, Mike Tauchman. And batting third, 0 for 1. Catching for the Cubbies, Miguel Amaya. Absolutely none, man. So many button clicks. No laziness here. Let's go. I got my vintage Ken Griffey Jr. jersey on for good luck today. So far, Hancock has actually done pretty good. I think it's been kind of shocking. For a guy that's got an ERA of almost 12, he's brought it down to 9. And I was hoping that we can get it down to about 5 or 6 in a couple more starts. Just start to, be better, and you're not going to be lights out. But 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks for a guy that had an ERA of 11. Pretty good, with all things considered. And then Imanaga, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks. Batting 7th in the order, 1-0 pitch from Hancock. Right up the middle. Get it, Polanco, to France, 1 away. There we go. I like that. Sit down, Nico. Next up, DH for the Cubbies, Mike Tauchman. What was the score of your game today? Mark McGuire. I saw an amazing highlight of Randy Johnson, throwing a 102-mile-an-hour fastball. I think it was maybe back in the Kingdom against McGuire when he was on the Cards, and it went like 358 feet, like upper deck. I never really see a whole lot of McGwire on my timeline, but that's kind of ironic that you brought him up because I saw that like last night for like the first time he popped up in the timeline more. I mean, normally I'll get stuff like Randy Johnson because that's my guy from Seattle and whatnot, but that was one of the highlights that I ended up rewinding and watching a few different times. Steroids or not, McGwire could definitely belt those homers. Top of the fifth, 2-1 Chicago. 1 out. Tauchman in the box. Hancock on the mound. 1-2 count. Darren in the building. What's good? Tauchman pops up. Nice blooper there into left field. All right, Tauchman. Nice job. Sweet photo, too. Next up for the Cubbies, catcher Miguel Amaya. They're seeing if they can get any production out of him compared to Yan Gomes. First pitch outside for a ball, 1-0 count. Miguel Amaya 0 for 1 with a fly out in the third. Top of the fifth, 2-1 Chicago. Runner at first, 1 away. 1-0 pitch from Emerson Hancock. There we go. Yeah, the steroids kind of ruined it, though. You know, it's like, you know, a lot of us that grew up in the 80s and 90s, you know, we looked up to, you know, Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and Rafael Palmeiro and Roger Clemens. And then to find out what they did, you know, it takes a lot of those accomplishments away. And there's a reason why some of these guys, you know, aren't in the Hall of Fame or never will be, you know. And for a guy like me, you know, Ken Griffey Jr. is my hero besides my dad. And so I'm really happy on that end to be a Mariner fan and to have players, even though we haven't won a World Series yet, you know, we have some of the best guys on and off the field ever. And some of the guys that have been some of the best baseball players to ever wear cleats with Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Ichiro, Edgar Martinez, and then hopefully Julio can join that, you know, obviously starting five at one point or another. So, you know, even though that we haven't won the big one yet, won the pennant, I don't think anyone can really disregard the amazing talent that we had out of Edgar Martinez. DH should be in the Hall of Fame as a Hall of Famer at the DH position. Ichiro, one of the best leadoff hitters of all time. And we already know Randy and Griffey, enough said. So. Shit, if Griffey took steroids, I mean, he'd be having like 80 homers in a season. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Bonds, you know, 50, 60, 70. But I mean, if you had a lot of these other guys, but again, you know, to cheat and to have the accolades, but then for people not to respect you ever again, and then your career is tainted, it's not worth it. So, you know, for an era of steroids, I'm really happy. Like, the one guy that was my hero was the one guy that actually didn't take steroids. He was good for 10 years, and then he got hurt for 10 years. Then he got fat, came back to the Mariners, got fat again, and then retired. You know, getting fat or doing steroids, I'd rather get fat and then walk away, you know, rather than doing steroids and have your career being ruined. So. But it was must-see TV back then for McGwire and Sosa, you know, when they were going at it, you know, in 98 and, you know, bringing a little bit of energy and juice to the MLB game, literally. Yeah, you could have said the same thing about Barry Bonds as well. He was going to be a Hall of Famer without steroids either, but it's greed, you know, on trying to be the best ever, you know, and trying to break records. But at the end of the day, if you can't do it clean, you know, and it ruins it for the other players like Ken Griffey Jr. or like Derek Jeter. You know, like I said, you know, to go your whole career clean, that's a big deal. You know, and then especially having the talent to put up the same kind of numbers as the guys that are doing steroids. You know, sometimes even better by being natural. So, you know, I don't think anyone, you know, didn't enjoy watching McGwire and Sosa and Clemens and Palmeiro and all those guys, you know, rake, you know, and play amazing when they were, you know, in the league. But at the end of the day, it's all about legacy. And it's just kind of sad that so many players, went down that path. But I'll tell you what, I loved watching Jose Canseco and McGuire on the Bash Bros on the A's, back when I was a kid. That was something special. Big swing and a miss by Sebi Zavala. All right, Imanaga. Hey, Chicago. What do you say? He's got a great personality. Go Cubs, go. All right, JP, let's go, baby. We need you. Bottom of the fifth, 2-1 Cubbies. 0-1 pitch to JP Crawford. JP, little blooper, run it out. Safe, baby. Yes, sir. Way to run it out, baby. That's my guy. Hey. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. 0 for 2. Let's make it 1 for 3. It ruined everything. It ruined, the rookie cards, the value of the memorabilia, the legacy. I wish a lot of those guys, I don't know. For me, it's like, imagine if you grew up in like San Francisco and you were a Giants fan and Barry Bonds was your hero, and then you find out what he did. That would have ruined it, for a lot of kids growing up, knowing that their hero was a fucking cheater, To me, baseball is one of the hardest sports, overall, to be able to hit, to be able to pitch, and to be able to defend. Not a lot of people can do it. I feel like for athleticism, playing basketball and football is much easier to do. And then obviously golf is another one of those. I feel that's very highly underrated. It's one thing to be able to go to a driving range and just to drive it, 200, 300 yards, but the putting game, is very difficult, and you see some of those elites, how good they are at that. And not many people are very good at the short game. So popped up, 3 up and 3 down, end of the fifth inning, 2-1 Chicago. See, when you end up meeting someone, as legendary as Junior, it definitely changes your life forever. And I still got, the thing that I appreciate the most about it is just that he took the time when I was, 7 years old in first grade to spell out his whole name. And out of all the autographs that are out there, from Ken Griffey Jr. to me, he's got one of the top 5 autographs out there, period, out of any sport: basketball, baseball, football, hockey. And he's been pretty consistent throughout his career. But to be 19 years old and to be able to have that kind of penmanship and not to scribble, there's been a lot of people, that get lazy, or if they're signing with like a card company. Like I remember when LeBron James came out and he did like LJ23. I would be crushed if LeBron James signed something like that. Like, you're so lazy. And I get it. If you're going to be signing like thousands of cards, you have to stick to the same signature on every single one. So, if you don't want to do LeBron James, number 23, I get it. But to me, when people do that and they do the initials, it's laziness. You know what I mean? You don't really realize what it will do for a kid if you actually take the time and appreciate the signature. And I feel like being a collector of autographs, I got Ken Griffey Jr., I got Cal Raleigh, I got a couple Julios, Aaron Judge. It's like, I like the people that take the time with the signature and it looks beautiful. It makes the cards look better and it just makes you feel more special overall. So I was a little sad when he ended up going to the Reds, but again, his dad played there, so obviously the connection with the Cincinnati Reds, it didn't hurt me as much, and then obviously later on, played a little bit for the White Sox and came back to the Mariners and was a little chubby and retired and whatnot. So I knew that more than likely he would come back to Seattle. But again, it didn't hurt me as bad as I thought it would. And then also we brought in Ichiro. So as soon as one legend left, and Randy Johnson left and Griffey left, right? And we know Randy Johnson, with the Diamondbacks and the Yankees did his thing, right? And then A-Rod was already long gone, and we don't really talk about him. So, but after Griffey left, to have another superstar emerge from Ichiro, it definitely helped us cope with the fact of Griffey leaving and whatnot. But I still rooted for Griffey. I still watched Reds games and cheered him on. When he went there. It's not like I was like, oh fuck that guy as soon as he left. Giants fan in the building. What's good? A father-son? That's a good question. Both all-stars. I mean, you're seeing father-son combos, but usually not in the league at the same time with each other. Just like even on the Blue Jays, I mean, they got 3 of them. Craig Biggio, Kayvon Biggio, Dante Bichette, Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero, and then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Just right there. I mean, that's like my childhood and growing up, so it definitely shows, how old you are. It's like when I remember watching the dads play, and those were like guys I collected baseball cards of. And then now the sons are playing, or like Matt Holliday and Jackson Holliday. Waiting for him to get his first base knock of his major league career. Popped up. Oh, what a catch by Julio. No fly zone. Nice defense, Julio. My guy. Yeah, I was going to say, we got fans of almost every team on every sport that we do. It just depends on who comes in more often than not. So, and then plus there'll be, trolls and people like, when the Mariners play the Astros, and if the Astros are winning like 9-0, you'll definitely get those people coming in just to try to talk shit or whatever. But yeah, I ended up seeing the Cardinals in Seattle last year, and they have potential. Pitching is kind of the spot where you guys need to improve the most. But, guys like Jordan Walker and Mason Wynn, I'm pretty familiar, with the Cards, and I try to watch games of every team. So, not only when the Mariners play, but, if I have free time and I can watch multiple games, I try to keep up on the league to be, a quote unquote expert of the NFL, college football, MLB, and obviously learning as I go with other things like the NHL. I feel I'm pretty familiar with the NBA as well, even though I feel the NBA is probably the worst of the 4 major sports right now. NASCAR, I keep up with that every week as well. So it definitely takes a lot of reading and a lot of film study. But, again, I've been doing this as a little kid. A lot of kids, played Atari and Nintendo and, wrestling figures, WWF and Ninja Turtles and Transformers and G.I. Joes. And I did that, but I was a real big card collector. And a big reason why I feel I have the stats on lock is that I would always study the stats on the back of cards when I was a little kid. So I would always look at the card on who I was collecting and either put it in, the folder or, in the case, in the penny sleeves and in the hard cases. But then I would always flip it and be like, oh, 6'2", 180. Oh, okay. He's batting 300. Okay. He was on the Reds. Now he got traded to the White Sox. Okay. Switch hitter. And I would memorize like a bunch of those stats. So, being a guy that has been infatuated with like statistics and analytics, I mean, I've been doing that since I was 5 and I'm 41. So it kind of comes second nature to me. Little chopper towards first. Hancock. Oh, and he dropped it. He almost got stepped on there. What did I think about Robinson Cano? We overpaid for him, when we had Nelson Cruz and Robinson Cano. It was cool for the short period of time where they were playing good together. Anytime they could end up getting base hits and home runs, I think the Mariner fans were like, wow, the first time that we actually spent money. But unfortunately, Robinson Cano on the Yankees compared to Robinson Cano on the Mariners is different. The Yankees had a bunch of all-stars on their team. We didn't. So there was more pressure on Robinson Cano to step up. And I already knew, by the time if you give a guy like that a 10-year contract or more for $200 million, $300 million, that towards the end of that contract, he wasn't even going to be on the team. And at one point, he was like on the Savannah Bananas. So, again, I wasn't ever really a big Robinson Cano guy per se. I like Nelson Cruz more if I had to choose one or the other. But again, we weren't really serious about winning. But that was like the first time that the Mariners actually spent money for someone. Mason Wen, yeah. And then Jordan Walker should have never got sent down to AAA last year. They should have had him up the whole year, and that's an up-and-coming stud on the team as well. So he's got good size, good presence in the box. And again, sometimes it's a head-scratcher when you get a guy that's doing well, and they sent him down, but luckily he came back up, and I got to see 2 games in Seattle against the Cardinals last year. I didn't get a ball in that 2-game stretch, which was one of the first years that I haven't got a ball, but it was awesome to be able to see the Cardinals play. And I was sitting next to a section of Cardinal fans that came through, and they were pretty chill as well. Top of the 6th, 2-1 Cubbies. 2 outs, 2-1 pitch, runner at first, popped up. Morel. JP Crawford is there. There we go. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. Emerson Hancock did a great job so far. With a guy that has an ERA of 11, I think a lot of Cubs fans thought they would put up 5 to 10 runs today. A lot of Mariner fans probably thought the same as well. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. Of course, you want your 5-hole guy to get as close to 10 as possible. 8, 9, 10 Ks. But again, 4 Ks, no walks. Essentially, to me, that's like even getting 7 or 8 Ks with a couple walks. So again, no walks, 4 Ks. Only gave up 4 hits and only 2 earned runs. I would say that's a pretty damn good outing for a guy that had an 11 ERA and almost cut it in half. Now it's down to 7.98. Nice job. Next up for the Mariners in the bottom of the 6th. Leading off for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a run. Right fielder, Mitch Haniga. Batting second, 1 for 2. Second baseman, Jorge Polanco. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a K. DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Let's go, baby. Got 65 people in the room. Make sure you like, sub, donate, comment, and share. And if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. It'll help us out tremendously. I'm going to take a quick peek. We got half of the people watching and the other 33 are watching on Twitter/X. We need one more person. Now we got 40 people in the room. We need one more person that's watching on YouTube. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We're at 19. And if we can get to 20 and then hopefully get to 25 or 30 before the stream ends, that will help us out tremendously. And hopefully we can get some people to come through and step up for us. We're already an hour and a half in, and we don't have any donos just yet, which is a little surprising. But again, different day, different situation. And hopefully before the stream ends that we will not be at a goose egg. That's the worst thing that you could possibly be at as a streamer, to be at a goose egg at an end of a stream. So again, being at $1 or $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 might not be ideal, but it's definitely better than a 0. Imanaga, 77 pitches in, 1-1 pitch. One, 2 count. Come on, Haniger. One, 2 pitch. Chop foul off himself. 1-2 count. Let him know. Let him know, stand up. It's not like this is a shitty channel and, I'm a garbage host. We've gotten donos, at 99 cents or $1. The solo dono record is $1,300. $1,300 for a single donation. Okay. So hopefully, people can recognize that. We're not scrubs here. We don't have a shitty channel. So if you can't donate, do at least the minimum and smash the like button for us. Comment if you can. Share it if you feel like that's something that you want to do. But there's a lot of channels out there that have never received donos like that. So that's why it's always a little alarming when we end up being at like a 0 or a low number. But again, it is what it is, and you got to just put your head down and grind, and hopefully the right people will come into the room and show the love and the support that you need and deserve. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1, Chicago. Haniger with a walk. Let them know. We love it. It's great, man. Like I said, they got, great food vendors. It's a very, beautiful setup there. There's not a bad seat, in the building. I've had good memories there. I mean, I've only been to like 7 or 8 games, and I've already gotten 3 baseballs. Kike Hernandez, Julio, and Aaron Judge. So every time I go, I have a blast, and the seating is good no matter where you go. But typically when I go, I see, usually around the aisle, and I usually go first base or third base because I want to be able to see the pitcher, at a good view. And then I want to be in a good spot to be able to get a foul ball. So, Asia in the building. What's good? Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Cubbies. Runner at first. 1 for 2, Jorge Polanco. Pitches outside, 1-0 count. Yeah. Again, we have to find the right people that understand that, this isn't just for fun, that this is my full-time job, that yes, I have bills like everyone else. And, you got to make sure that, we're doing everything that in our power to be able to take care of that, right? pitch. Pitch is outside, 3-0 count. Primo in the building. What's good? I'm not sure if I would say it's been a good addition so far. I mean, lately it's been good, but early in the season he was terrible. When you're batting under 200 and then you get moved, from being in the 3-hole, down to the 5-hole or lower. So obviously he's been much better batting as a righty than a lefty. But I would say, the first 10, 11 games, he was dog shit, just like JP and Julio. All 3 of them batting 1, 2, 3 were batting all under 200. So now it's nice that we're starting to see some of the good side of Polanco as well as Garver. But in the first 10, 11 games, it looked like, what are we doing? We made the wrong decision bringing those guys in. And the sad thing is that when you go and look at Jared Kelenic, Teoscar Hernandez, and Eugenio Suarez, all of those guys are doing better than the guys that we brought in. Hell, even Jesse Winker is doing better. So again, chemistry, it's going to take some time. But it's like all the guys that, that struck out a lot, and we were all complaining about that they struck out so much, right? We moved on from them. Now they go to better teams and that are doing better. And then the guys that we bring in thinking that they're going to be good are struggling. So, but it's nice to be able to see Garv and Polanco, because those are the 2 biggest guys that we brought in. We brought in Garv for that World Series experience from the Rangers, right? And we brought in Polanco just for being that everyday player that could hopefully, get us hits and play some decent defense. And, so far, I'm not sure if the Mariner fans overall are sold on both players just yet. I would assume, we're going to have to wait, for this full season to see if we really like Polanco and Garv, or if we want to tell them to hit the bricks and try to get someone better than those 2 guys. So I feel that right now, the jury is still out. Fatty Bands in the building. What's good? Brandon in the building. What's good? Morel, what a defensive play. Off of 1 bounce. Got him. What a play by Christopher Morel. That was a laser. Garver grounded out to third. Polanco to second. Haniger to third. Wow. We're going to give Christopher Morel his flowers. I'm not a hater. That was a great defensive play. Next up for the Mariners, Demo, Dylan Moore. Oh, they're making a pitching change. There goes Imanaga. So now this is the opportunity for the Mariners to rake here for the last 3 innings, and we have to find a way to do that. Let's look at Imanaga's stat line. Shada Imanaga. 5.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. And they got a 2-1 lead. So probably not the ideal start that you were looking for. But still, you know, going into the game with a 1-0 record, with an ERA of 0.00 and 12 Ks going in. Now he's got 16 Ks and his ERA is still at 0. All right, Imanaga, I see you. Can't wait to watch you pitch later on this season. Let's see who they're going to be bringing in. And we're only down 1, so that's a good sign. We're not down, 3 or 4 runs. So. Yeah, I'm a defensive guy, though, Asia. So obviously, I grew up here, in Oregon. But we don't have a professional team, for the NFL. So a lot of people in Oregon will root for the Seahawks or the Niners or the Raiders or the Chargers, or if you have an affiliation with another team. So for the Bucks, that's the only team I root for that's not in the Pacific Northwest. So it's Mariners, Kraken, Blazers, Oregon Ducks, and then Tampa. But again, when I was growing up, I had a lot of friends that were Niner fans, but I didn't want to be a bandwagon Niner for their 4 championship in the 80s with Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, and then one in the 90s and 94. So when I was 12, I was ready to pick a team, but I didn't want to be that kid that just hopped on the bandwagon. Look at me. I'm a Niner fan. I got 5 Super Bowls, right? Because I had a feeling that they weren't going to win anytime soon after the Joe Montana, Steve Young era, and I was right. And they didn't really have defensive players. So most fans are offensive minded. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and they buy jerseys of those positions. But for me, I'm a defensive guy. I'm a linebacker guy, right? Linebacker is my favorite. Safety is my second. I like corners. I like D tackles, D ends. I like special teams. I like O-line. I like coaching. So I'm built a little bit different. So for me, I had to wait another year, and instead of picking Seattle or picking, the Niners, they didn't really have defensive players. And then Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks got drafted from the Bucks, from Florida State and the U. John Lynch was already there. They had guys like Mike Allstott. That's my personality. So I like those hard-hitting, decleating guys. Some of the guys might talk a little shit, but they back it up, like Warren Sapp. Or you can be the ultimate professional, like Derek Brooks. And that was like my favorite, linebacker and my favorite player of all time. So that is the only reason why I didn't, double up or triple up in the Seattle, Seahawk, fan range or the Niners. I just didn't want to bandwagon off anybody else. I wanted to create my own story and root for a team. And at that time, in 95, that was when, Monty Kiffin and obviously, the squad, they were trying to be able to build it, the right way. And, that's kind of the story there. Now, if Seattle or San Francisco had defensive players back then in the mid-90s that I really liked, then maybe I would be a Niner or a Seahawk. But Blazers, but they're terrible, so. Odin in the building. What's good? Appreciate that. Odin with a Niner. Kind of surprised it took us almost 2 hours to get the first one, but thank you for Odin for stepping up. I can always count on you. Let me know what you want to do for photos. I got you. Odin's son with a Niner. Wow, Morel with a nice defensive snag there. $9, 91 to go. Appreciate you, my guy. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang, $9 dono. 91 to go to hit the goal. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Let them know. Yeah, and I know you're not into baseball, but you can come through and show love. I appreciate that. Did I watch the Super Bowl this year? Yeah, I mean, I might look young, but I'm 41. I mean, I've been watching sports and wrestling since 1985, so chances are I'm much older than you. You could probably end up being one of my chitlins, all right? One of my children. You know, we got people that are as young as 10 to 12 that watch the channel, and then as old as 90 that are on the channel. So, you know, half of the fan base is under 40, half of the fan base is over 40. So it's a good demographic. And I always watch the Super Bowl. Why wouldn't I? I mean, shit, I've gotten every Super Bowl correct in predictions except for one in the last, 21, 22 years. Bottom of the 6, 2-1 Cubbies. Runners at second and third. Dominic Canzone in the box. Let's go, Dom. Two-0 count to Dominic Canzone. Let's go, baby. Dirty Dom, baby. Let's go. Bring that electricity. Bottom of the 6, 2-1 Cubbies. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Rio, let's go. Pitch in the zone for a strike, 3-1 count. Three-one pitch. Popped up. Happ leaves 2 guys stranded. All right, we got 3 innings, 7th, 8th, and 9th to be able to manufacture 1 run. Hopefully we can do it. Who's your teams, Asia? Who's your favorite player for basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, whatever that you follow and watch? Let me know what that is, and then we can throw up some photos there since Odin is sacrificing his photos for you. But I appreciate you, Odin. I was getting worried there for a second. You know, it's kind of rare to be able to go 2 hours in almost without one person showing some love and whatnot, but I appreciate it. Let's see where we're at on the likes here. If we've hit 20 already, I think we should have already by now. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Half of the people in the room are watching on Twitter/X. The other half, 34, are watching on YouTube. So we got 34 people in the room on YouTube, 32 to 34 on the Twitter side, and we have 22, so we have 8 more people. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. It'll help us get to 30, and that'll help us with the algorithm overall. Appreciate you guys. End of the 6th inning. Let's see who's up for the Cubbies. You just lost your photo opportunities. Odin, my boy. What death metal concert stream are you watching? Are you at it or are you watching it? What band is it? Tyson Miller is in the game. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign for the Mariners. In the box, Dansby Swanson. Pitch outside, 1-1 count. Let's go. Dominic Canzone in left field now. Big swing and a miss, 1-2 count. The Headbangers? Thrash and Mosh? Headbangers? Probably somebody else. 1-2 pitch. Popped up foul. Swanson struck out swinging. There we go. I'll throw up a couple brays while we're just waiting. Appreciate you, my guy. Next up for the Cubbies, 1 for 2 with a single in the second, Michael Busch. No, he's out now. Imanaga is out. Leiter Jr. will be the pitcher afterwards. He had a decent stat line, 5.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Bush. Bush Light. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, Bush. Back. Gone. Damn it. Wow. Michael Busch goes yard. Homered in 3 consecutive games. And, of course, as soon as we take out our pitcher that we were worried about, Hancock, then Miller gives up a homer. Nice job, Miller, you idiot. Nice job by the Cubbies there, and Michael Busch crushed it. Next up, second baseman Nico Werner. All the Mariner fans, boo, new guy. Fuck. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Cubbies. 1 out, 0-2 pitch to Nico Werner. Come on, Mariners, dig deep here. And this is the exact reason why, the Mariner fan base gets frustrated, because we need more bullpen. We need more pitching. We need more hitting and we need more pitching, and you got to spend money, and the organization is so cheap. They just hope that we overachieve every year and then they can make all the profits. But you don't want to waste Julio's prime in his career when we have him. Oh-2 pitch. Wild pitch from Miller. Why the hell is this guy in? Lerner struck out swinging. 2 away. Next up for the Cubbies, DHing Mike Tauchman. Say we need Brash, Santos, and Bizzardo in the pen. I was like, for real. What a damn shame, too, because we were all worried about Emerson Hancock's 11, 12 ERA, and he actually played well. And then as soon as he goes out, then this Miller guy gives up a homer. Not ideal. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Popped up foul. 0-2 count. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Cubbies. 2 outs, 0-2 count. Miller on the mound. Tauchman in the box. Oh-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 1-2 count. One-two pitch. Pitch is high. 2-2 count. Let's go. 2-2 pitch for Miller. Chop foul. All right, we need 6 more people to get to 30. 5 more people to get to 30. We got 35 in the room. 34 on Twitter/X. We got 69, 70 people watching right now. Help your boy out. Popped up. Three up and 3 down. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th. Yeah, this channel isn't like a lot of other channels that are out there. Asia, we do a lot of reading and a lot of film study. We're not average here. We're fanatics. So, pretty much anything that is newsworthy, there's going to be, a bunch of people that have read on it, watched it. Nothing really slips by anybody in this channel. Like I said, this channel probably has more people that read and watch film than any other sport channel that's on YouTube. So, if it's anything that's newsworthy, chances are everyone already knows about it. We ain't average here. We're fanatics. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Catcher, Sebi Zavala. Batting second, 1 for 3. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. Right ends up. And batting third, 0 for 3. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Right ends up. Can we get your first home run of the season? I hope so. Let's go. Talk it into existence, baby. Let's go. You're overdue. We're already on our 15th game of the season, and you haven't went yard yet. If you want tridents up to be the hashtag, we actually have to hit homers. Let's go. See if I can squeeze in a couple more photos for you of Bray. Rest in peace to a legend, Bray Wyatt. All right, we're bringing in Cal Raleigh. Hell yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go, Cal. Let's go, Cal. Let's go. Bottom of the seventh, 3-1 Cubbies. Pitch on the corner for a strike. Leiter Jr. on the mound, Raleigh in the box. Big swing and a miss, 0-2 count. Come on, Cal. Should have had Cal probably play this game, but he'll have hopefully at least one more chance in the ninth inning if we can get there to see what we can do. 0-2 pitch to Cal Raleigh. Got him. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. Make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health, addiction, depression, anxiety. We go through a lot of these things on the daily. Make sure you're doing the right steps to win the day. Would I say rest in peace to OJ? I mean, I don't know. Would you say rest in peace to someone that murdered 2 people? I mean, great football player. He definitely was on a lot of movies and Saturday Night Live. Was great in high school. Was great at USC. Was great at Buffalo. But again, the football player and the man are 2 totally different people. So. There. Next up at bat, Julio Rodriguez. Another pitching change for the Cubbies, possibly. Let them know. 91 to go. Yeah, I don't think I don't think anyone will hate on you for that. Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot about race, though, too, rather than being innocent or guilty. You know, you had the Rodney King situation there. You know, a lot of white on black, black on white violence. You know, and I think a lot of the jury, you know, at that time, it was more about, you know, race rather than innocent or guilty. You know, based on the other things that were going around in America at that time. So, you know, to act like race and racism wasn't a part of it is ridiculous, you know. I mean, there's been interviews from a lot of the jury as well, you know, that obviously, you know, if the people that ended up getting murdered were black or Mexican or other than white, that maybe things would have been a little bit different, you know. So, I mean, I'm not afraid to touch on the sensitive subjects that are out there, but that's the truth. Yeah, acquitted or not acquitted, still that doesn't take away from the fact that he killed two people. So it's what, pretty much that you can be a famous ball player and you have money and a good lawyer and that you can get away with killing somebody or two people? Bottom of the seventh, 3-1 Cubs. Big swing and a miss for Julio. Struck him out. Go to the top of the eighth. Julio is struggling. Next up for the Cubs in the top of the eighth, 0 for 2, catcher Miguel Amaya. Batting second, 0 for 3, left fielder Ian Happ. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run, an RBI, and 2 Ks, right fielder Seiya Suzuki. Top of the 8th, 3-1 Chicago. Mariners running out of time. Ken Griffey Jr. bobble, 3-day giveaway. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Need that. Leaping the wall, the Rob a home run. What a cool bobble. Even comes with the back wall. Next up for the Cubbies, 0 for 2, catcher Miguel Amaya. Back. On! We bring in a new pitcher and then another home run. Nice job by Amaya. This one feels like it's 99% over. That's what happens, when you don't have a good bullpen. Nice job by the Cubbies to respond to our victory yesterday. Next up for the Cubbies, left fielder Ian Happ. That's tough, man. Happ popped out to third base, one away. Next up, Seiya Suzuki. Appreciate you, my guy. I think a lot of it has to do with just, me being able to grow up in an environment where I didn't see race. Like I said, I had a lot of people in the neighborhood, black, white, Mexican, Asian. Everyone hung out with each other. Like I said, a lot of people would come to the crib and play hoops at my house and whatnot. And, I've always had that passion and grind for sports. And, it's one of those things you have to be ultra focused, but at the end of the day, be a good person, and we got some really good people on this channel and you're one of them. I appreciate you. Top of the 8th, 4-1 Chicago. And hopefully we can get some more support before this stream ends. And then tomorrow is a rubber match where it'll be a little early. So tomorrow we play at, is it noon or 1? They play at 1:10 tomorrow. Last game of the series, Assad versus Castillo. And normally Mariner fans would be excited about that particular matchup, but Luis Castillo, as our number one pitcher, is 0 for 3 with a 6.89 ERA, which is a little alarming. And then also I'll be watching some NASCAR Cup Series. And that'll start at 12:30 at Texas. There we go. Suzuki, sit down. Called out on strikes. Next up, 0 for 3 with a K, center fielder Cody Bellinger. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th. We got 2 more chances to be able to manufacture 3 runs. It might be the same kind of story where we were up 4-0. They got it to 4-1, and I kind of predicted it would be 4-2, and that's what it was. And not sure if we're going to be able to manufacture 3, but we might be able to manufacture 1. That doesn't really help us at the end of the day, but losing 4-2 is better than losing 4-1. So. Yeah, well, especially when it's the backup catcher. It's not even Yan Gomes. It's the backup that went yard. But again, we've gone through, 3 different pitchers, and we were all worried about Hancock. And then what happened? Miller and both were the ones that gave up the home runs after him. So what can you do? Like I said, bullpen is really important in baseball, and people fail to realize that. It's almost like on the NFL side, offensive line and defensive line get overlooked a lot, and you need to have a good O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to compete. It's not always about the quarterbacks and the running backs and the wide receivers and tight ends. It's a team game. Mariner buddies are hitting me up. It's like, fucking A. Oh, baby. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3 with a K, Ty France. Let's go, Ty. Batting second this inning, right fielder Mitch Haniga. And batting third, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Yeah, we can't hit. We can't, hit for power. We can't defend. Our bullpen isn't good. It's been rough. Like I said, we already knew it was going to be a slow start, more than likely for the Mariners, like it is every year. But again, we started off in spring training with like the worst team in baseball, 1-9-1 record. And then we ended up going on a real hot streak at the end of spring training. And then we finished like 15-13. So we thought a lot of the players that were hot in spring training would carry over. But, the same problems that are ailing the Mariners are rearing their ugly heads again. So. Pitches inside, 3-2 count. Yeah, and I know I do help people on the daily, but at the end of the day, being able to talk about our problems and help people with mental health and, reach out to people outside of the streams, making sure people are okay. I'm going to continue to do that, but also on the flip side, this is my full-time job. It's not like, years before where I had 3 jobs and I had plenty of money coming in, so that if the streams ended up not being, as good as I needed it to be or wanted it to be, I was still okay. I could still pay bills. But then when you go full time and this is my only income, you can't really afford to have too many zeros, or ones or twos or you know what I'm saying? So, again, I'm going to grind it out no matter what. But at the end of the day, you still need to feel loved and appreciated when you're doing something good, not only for other people, but, in general. So, and it's not like I expect to be rich, but I got to at least pay my bills. Anyone in my situation would understand, with all the time and effort that I put in to every stream, like I treat this like, I'm the CEO, which I am, and this is my full-time job, and I treat it that way, and you just hope that you can get enough people to show that support and love, so that way I can continue to do this dream and continue to go down this path. So. It's like, I would rather, do my dream and make less money than do a job that pays me $20 to $40 an hour that I hate, or it's like, if I ended up becoming, uber rich and would make 6 or 7 figures, and let's say I had like $1 million house, but I had to be alone, or I'd rather be poor and live with Paisley. I'd rather be poor and live with Paisley. So it's like, you're going to have certain things that are important to you. And, my pup has made such a big impact in my life for my mental health that I would rather, be dirt poor and homeless with my dog than live in a mansion and be a millionaire without her. And I'm dead serious, and I know a lot of people would be like, no way, but it's true, until you end up having that special person in your life or, a pet, that ends up being a big significant part of your life. It's more than just a pet, it's family. And, I'm a dog father, that's my daughter. So big facts. Yeah, but Mariners are struggling mightily. It's embarrassing to see how bad that we've been struggling, but let me see if I can pull up the stat line. I'll go to tomorrow's game, click on it, and then should be able to see where we're at. All right, so we're batting. I bitched and complained that we were terrible last year, and we were batting 220, 230 as a team. This year, we're batting 207 as a team. Terrible. 46 runs. The Cubs have 75, and they're struggling too, right? So it shows you how bad we are. They have 105 hits. We have 95. So we're batting 207. The Cubs are batting 245 as a team. They have 14 home runs. We only have 12. On base percentage for them, 343. Us, 282. Slugging for them, 406. Us, 317. It's like every category is just uber low. But, it's still early in the season, and you have to hope and pray that things get better. But I appreciate you, Odin-san, for coming through, and I can always count on you even when things get a little tough. You go out of your way to look out for me like I look out for you, and I appreciate that, because again, when you're grinding on this for a full-time job, the worst thing that can happen is be at a zero. It's one thing if I'm brand new and I'm just starting off, then, zeros are a common thing. But not when you're established and you've been grinding for 12 years or, you're on YouTube for 8, you got 20,000 subs plus, zeros are unacceptable. They happen, but again, we want to make sure that we stay as far away from zero, as possible. There's no reason we should be at, at least at $1 to $5 on every stream minimum. That's just being honest. I mean, and then some streams we're going to hit bigger numbers, where we're going to be at 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 1,300. Got to take the good and the bad. Yeah, you got to stop procrastinating and just work, bro. I had my first job, Matt, when I was 12 years old, and again, the longer you wait before you have your first job or your first serious job, again, it teaches a lot, about teamwork and work ethic, and obviously, even if you have parents, or people that you're living with that are paying for your rent and paying for all your food and paying for all your bills, at some point, you gotta grow up. You gotta be able to take care of yourself, and you gotta be able to, live on your own, or at least try, to see if you can do it, and understand like how hard it is to be able to, grind it out, to be able to, pay for things like a car and rent and bills, Got to get on that job tip, my guy. Especially if you want to get a computer and microphones and everything else, Oregon Duck football is right around the corner. Bottom of the 8th, 4-1 Cubbies. 2 outs, runner at first, 2-1 count. Garver in the box. Hit towards third. Force out at second. All right, we're going to the top of the 9th. Fielder's choice, runner out. Let's go to the top of the 9th and see what we got here. Next up for the Cubs, 0 for 3, Christopher Morel. He's put on a show at third base defensively. I see you. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run and 2 Ks. Shortstop, Dansby Swanson. And batting third, 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI. First baseman, Michael Busch. We need 2 more people in the room. 1 more person. 1 more to get to 30. So we got 28 people on the YouTube side, and then we got 34 people on the Twitter side. So we need 1 more person on the YouTube side to smash the like button if you haven't yet, and that'll put us at 30. And that's usually the goal. We're going to try to hit 20 to 30, and especially if we're at 29 and you got close to 30 people in the room, and then another 20 to 30 on the Twitter side, do your boy a solid. Cowboys in the building. What's good? Next up for the Cubbies, 0 for 3, third baseman Christopher Morel. Batting second this inning, shortstop Dansby Swanson. And batting third, first baseman Michael Busch. Popped up. Yeah, like I said, my dad was a teacher for like 40 plus years. So if I wasn't doing, the YouTube thing, as far as, sports, I would probably end up doing something on the video game side, or, making beats, like my buddy Brooks and whatnot. And then if I ended up not doing the video game side through Twitch or YouTube or making beats, then, probably doing something with teaching, or mentoring with like the Boys and Girls Club, being a teacher, being a counselor, being a psychologist or a therapist, something of that nature, and helping people. I feel that it's kind of what I've been, put on this earth to do. Drop right back to the pitcher. 1 away. Before the game started, I was feeling pretty good. Then all the homers started happening, and it's been this reaction. But again, we won yesterday, so Cubs are just trying to tie it up. And then we have a matchup tomorrow that should be interesting. So find out who the best team is. And so far, so good for the Chicago Cubs. Big swing and a miss. 1 for 3 with a single and a second and a run for Dansby Swanson. I usually wouldn't be the main person that makes it. My buddy Brooks is undiscovered, but he's actually one of the more talented beat makers here in Oregon. He's had famous artists like Busta Rhymes, look at his stuff. But again, he wasn't really fully invested in himself. And I feel that he's starting to get there. Once you believe in yourself and you're all in, with the equipment and your time and your energy, that's when, good things happen if you're willing to put in the work. And out of all my friends that are in Oregon, besides myself, I feel that he is the most talented friend that I've ever met, that I feel that could be a guy that makes it big, could be a millionaire one day, could end up getting a beat sold for $5 to $10 grand or higher. Like, he's got that type of talent. He started playing piano when he was 5, and he can do a little bit of everything. Very, very skilled and very, very talented. But it's up to him. I try to, kind of set the example, on how I ended up, going from nothing to something. It took a long time, and I'm hoping one day that he'll do the same. All good. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We're at 9:91 to go. And let's take a look to see if we hit 30. I imagine we did. Let's take a quick peek. We need one more. One more like to get. There it is. Appreciate you, whoever that was. We're at 30. Let's try to go to 35 if possible before the stream ends. Top of the ninth, 4-1 Cubbies. Both on the mound. Bush, line drive. All right, here we go. Last opportunity for the Mariners, down 4-1. Let's go. We need a miracle here. 3 runs. Can we get it? We'll find out. Next up for the Mariners, 0-3, left fielder Dylan Moore. Batting second this inning, 0-for-1, Dominic Canzone. And batting third, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. It's a decent lineup. I mean, all 3 guys are 0-5 at this point, so that doesn't really help us out, but hopefully one of these guys or a couple of them can get hot. We need you, Cal. And the game is going to be early tomorrow, Matt. So it'll be 1 o'clock my time. So it'll be 10 o'clock your time. So I'll be posting early, and then I'll be watching NASCAR at the same time for Texas. But so the stream will go from like 1 to 4, 1 to 3:30, and then so that'll be 10 to 12:30 your time. And then we'll go to some evening starts for Monday and Tuesday against the Reds. And then we'll have an early start, a rubber match on Wednesday around 12 or 1 my time. Let's go, baby. Adbert. Alzole. Let's go, Demo. We need you, baby. Let's go. Trident's up. We lost yesterday 4-2. And, maybe we end up getting a little bit of a rally here, but I don't know if I can see any scenario where we tie this and go into extra innings or we win. But you never know. I guess it really depends here, on the pitching and if we can get lucky. But I think there's probably a better chance for the game to end 4-1 for us coming back today. But, if we get lucky, maybe we can get to 2 like the Cubs did last night. But not sure with these 3 guys that we have up that it'll be possible. One pitch. Demo grounded out to first, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder Dominic Canzone. Oh, there's a souvenir. Towards third base, about 10 rows back. 226 average, 3 homers in 2024 for Dirty Dom. Big swing and a miss, 0-2 count. Dom pops up. Suzuki, 2 away. Canzone flied out to right. 2 away. Last opportunity for the Mariners. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. And again, this is the type of matchup where you have to get 5 runs or 7 to 10 hits. And if you don't, you're going to lose 90 to 95% of the time, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast. And exactly at that range, if we would have been at 5, we win. But, you're not going to win a whole lot of games in Major League Baseball with only 1 run. 171 average, 2 homers, and 4 ribbies by Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Pitch is low and outside. 1-1 count. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 count. We're down to our last strike. One-two pitch. Cal with a hit. There we go. Nice single by Cal. It's not over yet. I mean, almost over, but good effort there by Cal Raleigh. I like it, baby. Nice job. Next up for the Mariners, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. Best case scenario, JP gets walked or gets a single. Julio comes up to bat, hits a 3-run homer, and then we go to extras. That would be best case scenario, but not sure if you're going to get that here tonight. That'd be like a miracle. JP fouls it off behind in the count, 0-2. Let's go, JP. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is in the dirt. Good eyes by J.P. Crawford. 1-2 count. Bottom of the ninth, 4-1 Cubbies. 2 outs, runner at first, Cal Raleigh. 1-2 pitch incoming. All 5 RBIs this series came with 2 outs for the Mariners. Pitch is low, in the dirt again. 2-2 count. Take the walk if it's there. Don't be greedy. Two-two pitch. Pitch on the corner outside. 3-2 count. Count is full. Take the walk, baby. Take the walk if it's there. Then Julio will give us a chance, even though he's been ice cold this year. Full count. 3-2 pitch to J.P. Crawford. Hard ground ball to first base. Foul. And there it is. Bang! Nice win for the Cubbies there. Nice job to Chicago. Great game for them. Great way to respond after Mariners won yesterday 4-2. We get a flip, and today's matchup with the Cubbies winning 4-1, and then we got a matchup tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific that we're going to end up doing. It would be much better if Luis Castillo was a good pitcher this year, but since he's struggling, the Cubs are really going to have a shot to beat us tomorrow. So we're going to have to bring our A game and try to get to 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits, or Castillo might end up being 0-4. He's 0-3 with a 6.89 ERA. Assad is 1-0 with a 1.64 ERA. So it definitely there's a big advantage for the Cubbies tomorrow. All right, I'll throw up a couple photos for a couple of y'all here for a couple minutes, and then I got to go take Paisley on another long, 30 to 45-minute walk here in the dark, eat some dinner, and then we'll be back at it tomorrow. I'll be watching NASCAR Cup Series in Texas at 12:30, but the stream will be for the Mariners at 1 p.m. versus the Cubs in the rubber match. And that'll be the last matchup until we go to, the Reds. We're going to be playing Cincinnati Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then after I get back from the long walk and the dinner, Fallout might be on the agenda. I mean, I am looking to start something. I'm still watching Sons of Anarchy, and I'm loving it. But it'll always be nice to have something else. And there's like 8 to 10 episodes, so I'm looking forward to it. Awesome. I have not. So GG to the Cubs. They earned it today. Got nothing negative to say about them. Awesome. I can't wait. No problem. I got you. Shout out to Odin's son for coming through and making sure that we didn't end up at a goose egg or a donut. That's always good. Even $1 is better than a zero. Like, no matter what we're doing, zeros are not good for anybody. So I appreciate Odin for stepping up and doing that. And then hopefully we can have a better result tomorrow. And then we'll be grinding it out for the Cincinnati Reds. After we do the Cubs tomorrow at 1, we'll be doing the Cincinnati Reds for a 3-game set Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone liking, sharing, donating, commenting. And this might be on the on tap tonight. I mean, it's already 9:11 right now, so I still got quite a few things to look into. But final score for the Cubs and the Mariners: 4-1 Chicago. GG. And again, we will be back tomorrow for the last game in the set. The rubber match at 1:00 between the Cubs and the Mariners. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Shout out to Megan and Matt. Matt, appreciate you for doing the duties. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Odin Son, you're the man, and I'm out. Bang.